Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Mahārāja's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Mahārāja on June 18th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangong langayate girim Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Shri Caitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will continue with the compilation of the Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled as Visiting the House of Śivānanda Sena and Vāsudeva Datta, under the section The Lord's Attempt to Go to Vrindavan. Dear devotees, today it will be from Caitanya Chandrodaya Natak. All the verses are from that. Yeah. Okay. Enter a kinnara couple. The man, he says, Beloved, this year Lord Jagannath's Gundicha festival was more charming than any year before. And the woman replies, How is that? The man, he says, it has become greatly charming because this year Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya, who is personified bliss, who is golden in complexion as the golden mountain, who wears the garments of the greatest sannyasi, and who is the incarnation as a devotee, has made this festival sweet. Woman says, Alas, alas, why didn't you take me with you? I didn't see the festival. The man says, Beloved, next year you will see. The woman replies, If only it becomes like this next year. The man says, From now on he, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will stay here in Jagannath Puri. The Kinnara woman. What is the certainty? The man says, I know the truth. The woman says, How do you know? And he says, By listening to the mutual conversation of his associates who know all about his pastimes and who were praising his wonderful pastimes. And the woman says, How was the talk? And the man replies, Beloved, listen. The Lord grants His mercy to this world in 3 ways. And the woman replies, asks, What the 3 ways? The man says, First, by direct appearance. Second, by entering others' heart. Third, by appearing simply by thinking.
So, Lord Chaitanya is giving His mercy in these 3 ways.
So Lord Chaitanya is giving His mercy in these 3 ways.
Those who are fortunate, they can see Him directly.
They can see Him directly.
And others, simply by hearing about the Lord.
Others, simply by hearing about the Lord,
He would enter their heart.
He would enter into their hearts.
Third,
if
you think about the Lord.
If you think about the Lord,
and also that's not different.
Then that's non-different.
You get His association in that way.
You will get His association in that way. The woman says, Tell it by explaining in detail. The man replies, The Lord directly appears before the pilgrims who are able to come to Purushottama Kshetra. Each year, many thousands of pilgrims, more than anyone has ever seen or heard of before, cross from many different countries have come, more eager to see Lord Kṛṣṇa Caitanya than they are to see Lord Jagannath himself.
Lord Caitanya is the moving Jagannath.
Lord Chaitanya is the moving Jagannath.
Lord Jagannath is the deity form.
And Lord Jagannath is the deity form.
So you have the darshan of both forms of Jagannath.
So you'll have the darshan of both forms of Jagannath
In the Rath Yatra.
during the Rath Yatra. The woman says, then? Man replies, among all these people, the Gaudiyas, the pilgrims from Bengal, are dear to the Lord, whom I have seen. The Gaudiyas, who are especially dear to him, are very fortunate, even if they have not seen him. These devotees are headed by Narahari, Raghunandan, and the other residents of Khandagrama are very fortunate. Although at first they did not see the Lord, eventually they were able to come to Purushottama Kshetra every autumn.
And not all the devotees are able to associate with Lord Chaitanya.
Not all the devotees were able to associate with Lord Chaitanya
When he was in Navadvip.
when he was in Navadvip.
But when he came to Jagannath Puri,
But when he came to Jagannath Puri,
he would participate in Gundicha cleaning, in the Rath Yatra,
he would participate in the Gundicha cleaning, in the Rath Yatra,
in his kirtan programs,
in his kirtan programs,
and thus all the devotees could associate with him.
and thus all the devotees could associate with him.
Even non-devotees could see him chanting.
Even the non-devotees could see him chanting.
So, in Navadvip, during the Chankasi civil disobedience,
So in Navadvip, during the Chankasi civil disobedience,
they had that opportunity.
they had that opportunity.
But before that,
But before that,
he was in the house of Śivānanda,
he was in the house of Srivas Thakur,
and only certain devotees were allowed in.
and only certain devotees were allowed in.
And even then, after that, the Harinam Sankirtan, some could see him.
Then, after that, in Harinam Sankirtan, only some could see him.
But when he went to Jagannath Puri,
But when he went to Jagannath Puri,
then all the devotees again from Bengal could really associate with the Lord.
then all the devotees who came from Bengal could freely associate with the Lord. The inhabitants of Kulin Gram, successors of Gunaraj Khan, and all this beginning with Ramananda Vasu, are well-wishing friends of the Lord, and Nyayacharya and the other wise devotees striving with the mellow of love come to Purushottam Kshetra every autumn. Now, tell me why Ramananda forbade Lord Chaitanya to go to Bengal. The lady says. The man replies, Beloved, because he is full of love for the Lord. Ramananda cannot tolerate any separation from him. Even though for a long time the Lord wished to go to Mathura, he delayed his departure for 2 years on Ramananda's request. Today, tomorrow, you go to Mathura.
Ramananda Rai and Mahārāja and do various tricks to somehow get Lord Chaitanya to stay in Jagannath Puri.
So, Ramananda Rai and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya used various tricks to somehow get Lord Chaitanya to stay in Jagannath Puri.
This worked for about 2 years.
This was for about 2 years.
Finally, the Lord requested them
But finally the Lord requested them
that he wanted to go to Vrindavan
that he want to go to Vrindavan.
and seeking their permission.
So he is seeking them his permission. Seeking them their permission. The woman says, "Will the Lord stay here or go to Mathura?" The husband says, "Beloved, repeatedly requested by the Lord, Ramananda finally gave his permission that the Lord will go to Mathura through Bengal." The woman says, "Oh, noble husband, will the Lord again come here?" The man says, "Yes." The woman says, "There is a doubt here, because he is most fond of Mathura." The man says, "That may be so, but still, to lighten the burden of Lord Jagannath, who descended to this world to deliver the fallen souls up to the Chandalas, the Supreme Person Sri Caitanya will again return to Purushottam Kshetra."
Lord Chaitanya's mission is to deliver the most fallen.
So Lord Chaitanya's mission is to deliver the fallens.
While he was present in Navadvip and Jagannath Puri in India,
So while he was present in Navadvip, Jagannath Puri in India,
he delivered all the people,
he delivered all the people,
regardless of their caste.
regardless of their caste.
But he said he would send the Senapati Bhakta
But he said he would send his Senapati Bhakta
to deliver the rest of the world.
to deliver the rest of the world. The woman says, "Yes, it will happen so." A voice from behind the scenes, "Bhattacharya, why did Ramananda permit this to be done?" The man says, "Beloved, listen to this. It is as I said, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, distressed by his separation from the Lord, is talking with Sarvabhauma. Let us go attend on with prayers by singing Lord Jagannath." They both exit. Maharaj Pratap Rudra enters and sits on a throne. Sarvabhauma also enters. Maharaj Pratap Rudra says, "Bhattacharya, due to the slackening of the rope of perseverance of Ramananda, the Lord has gone." Sarvabhauma says, "It is possible to have more persistence with the Lord. It is not possible to compel the Lord." Still, he delayed his departure for 2 years. The king says, "Bhattacharya, Ramananda did me a great favor. He led the merciful Supreme Lord to the pathway of my eyes. He made the very difficult to attain touch to the Lord's lotus feet very easy for me to attain. He mercifully gave the sweet nectar of the Lord's words to my ears to drink. Still, now that the Lord has gone, my heart has become a barren desert."
Our Lord Chaitanya has gone through Bhubaneswar and Cuttack,
So Lord Chaitanya had gone through Bhubaneswar and Cuttack.
Cuttack was the capital of the King Prataprudra.
Cuttack was the capital of the King Prataprudra.
And there, the King Prataprudra could bow down to Lord Chaitanya and touch his lotus feet.
There in Cuttack, King Prataprudra could bow down to Lord Chaitanya and could touch his lotus feet.
And Lord Chaitanya gave him great mercy
And Lord Chaitanya gave him great mercy
and embraced him.
So
This is impossible for King Prataprudra to achieve
this is impossible for King Prataprudra to achieve
before.
before.
But now or at least it was very difficult.
At least it was very difficult.
But he got the special mercy.
But he got this special mercy.
And he constructed a monument of Lord Caitanya crossing the river.
He constructed a monument of Lord Caitanya crossing the river.
King of Mahārāja had made all arrangements for the safe journey of Lord Caitanya.
King Prataparudra had made all the arrangements for the safe journey of Lord Caitanya. Sarvabhauma says, O Maharaj, Ramananda is a great devotee of the Lord, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.55. One who has captured the Supreme Lord's lotus feet within his heart with genuine love is to be known as Bhagavata Pradhana, the most exalted devotee of the Lord. A devotee like him brings the Supreme Personality of Godhead under his control. It is because Ramananda's mercy that the Lord has been merciful to you. The king says,
Well, this shows a mercy, how sending the body brings all good fortune to the one.
so this shows how the senior devotees bring good fortune to one.
Lord Kṛṣṇa has said that worshipping his devotee is better than worshipping him.
Lord Kṛṣṇa has said that worshipping his devotee is better than worshipping him.
And like Shiva told Parvati that worship of Vishnu is the highest,
Lord Shiva told Parvati that the worship of Vishnu is the highest,
but better than that
but better than that
is worship his devotees.
is the worship of his devotees. Hari Bol. Maharaj Prataparudra says, how far will Ramananda travel with him? Sarvabhauma said, I heard as far as Bhadrak. The king says, how many went with the Lord? Sarvabhauma says, Paramananda Puri, Damodar, Jagadananda, Gopinath and Govinda, those 5. The king says, even though the Almighty Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Jagannath, the Master of Nilachal, situated on the throne, expands his opulence, still all the 3 worlds are empty since Lord Caitanya has again gone to the northern direction.
I came to Rudra is feeling such separation from Lord Caitanya.
So King Prataparudra is feeling such separation from Lord Caitanya.
This feeling of separation is most powerful way of connecting with the Lord.
This feeling of separation is the most powerful way connecting with the Lord. Sarvabhauma says, O king, unalloyed love is like this. The king says, did anyone among us went following closely? Sarvabhauma says, O king, you speak only out of love. Where is dependence on your man? The Lord is not dependent on anyone of your man. Still, taking your letter, someone appointed by you has gone in advance and has made all arrangements in the areas within your dominion.
Mahārāja Rudra had made all arrangements in his kingdom for Lord Caitanya's reception and housing, prasad.
So, Maharaj Prataparudra has made all the arrangements in his kingdom for Lord Caitanya's reception, housing, prasad. In each area, the appointed man constructed new residences, and each residence was filled with abundant offerings. And the appointed man took the Lord to these residences so that he and his associates rest there to be free from the fatigue due to walking. But the Lord knows this to be the act of Ramananda Rai. The doorkeeper enters. The doorkeeper says, "My lord, Ramananda Rai and others stand at the door." The king says, "Bring him at once." The doorkeeper says, "As you command." He exits and returns with Ramananda. Ramananda approaches and offers respectful obeisances. Respectfully offering Ramananda a seat, the king says, "Tell me, how far did you go with the Lord?" Ramananda says, "Even though at every step I was told by the Lord, from here return back and go, I went as far as Bhadrak. O Mahārāja, it is difficult to give up one's course of social activities because, even though the Lord is an ocean of mercy, the deliverer of the fallen, alas, alas, I left the Lord and came out of fear of you. I don't know why I have not died there. It is only because my body is hard and strong as a thunderbolt that I have returned." He sheds tears. "Ramananda, you are intelligent." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says, "Ramananda, you are intelligent. Why do you lament? The Supreme Lord always performs pastimes like this. He left the people of Vraja and went to Mathura, and again he left Mathura, and again, even from there, he went to Dwaraka, and again, even he left Dwaraka and went here and there. How did the devotees in those places bear separation from the Lord? Even though separation from the Lord is intolerable, still the Lord makes them tolerate it. Therefore, enough with this lamentation. You should be comforting Mahārāja Pratap Rudra. You should not make him distressed with this your distress.
So, the devotees, they have some boat, and they're meeting with the Lord.
So the devotees have the sambhog where they are meeting with the Lord, and Vipralamba where they are separated from the Lord.
These two things are always happening in the devotee's life.
So these two things are always happening in a devotee's life.
Separation increases the bliss of union.
So the separation increases the bliss of reunion.
So sometimes one is united with the Lord, sometimes they're separated.
Sometimes one is united with the Lord and sometimes he is separated.
And this keeps one always fixed on the Lord.
So this keeps one always fixed on the Lord. Mahārāja says, "Speak." Ramananda replies, "Your appointed men will go as far as the region of your authority. Some of our men who know the path will go as far as the Bengali border. Some among them will go little far away, and some will go little further away." The doorkeeper enters. The doorkeeper says, "My lord, the men Ramananda Rai sent to accompany the Lord have now returned." The king says, "Have them come in at once." The doorkeeper does that, and the men enter. The man says, "Glory, glory to the Lord.
Jayati, Jayati.
Jayati, Jayati, Jai." Ramananda says, "Tell us, how far did the Lord go?" The man says, "As far as Kuliagram." Mahārāja Pratap Rudra glances at Sarvabhauma. Sarvabhauma says, "My lord, Puliya is the name of a town on the farther shore of the Ganges, past Navadvip. Maharaj Prataprudra says, tell the whole story from beginning. The man says, Lord, by your power, as far as your jurisdiction is there, the paths accomplished most easily, and thus everyone travelled without even walking. Among the three roads leading to the Bengali border, two are closed and one is flooded with water, which indicates that the Lord travels on the waterway that is flooded. The governor in the border of Bengal is a Turkish fellow, a great drunkard, a leader of the nasty people, and who causes suffering to the people traveling as if a wound in the heart. Out of fear of this officer, no one could walk the road freely since they heard he causes misfortune to those who travels here. No one told about this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When our officers told, please wait for a while here till I make negotiating alliances with the Turkish officer. Then, at that same time, a man from the Turkish officer came near our officers.
I saw the history of that Muslim governor.
So the history of that Muslim governor,
They told to King Prataprudra.
is being told to King Prataprudra. Maharaj Prataprudra, then the man says, then our officer said, if 3 or 4 men want to come, then you can come. Then they came and falling flat on the ground at the lotus feet of the Lord, paid obeisances for a long time.
This is something amazing
This is something amazing
for King Prataprudra,
for King Prataprudra,
because the Turkish men will not normally pay prostrate obeisances
because the Turkish men will not normally pay prostrate obeisances
to a Hindu holy man.
to a Hindu holy man. Then everyone said, O Lord, with this person's help, we can travel very easily. Please glance mercifully on him. On their request, when the Lord glanced, this Yavana became like a man possessed. His hair stood up, his voice became choked, and he shed tears. Then Gopinath Acharya said, Ah, how can Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travel happily? Maharaj, the king said, then, man says, then the Yavana says, how far will you go? Then Gopinath Acharya replied, as of now, we will go as far as Paniyahati.
Hari.
Panihati.
Not Hari.
Paniyahati.
Oh, Panihati, okay.
Maharaj Prataprudra says, then the man says, then the hairs of his body standing erect and tears flowing from his eyes, the Yavana said in a voice choked with emotion, it is my fortune that I will be able of some help to the Lord. Then he brought a new boat equipped with a cabin driven by all the gentle boatmen. He cleansed the boat again and brought it quickly, and he himself got on to another boat. He told the Lord, Lord, all of you aboard the boat. Then the Lord and the other passengers entered the boat. In order to prevent the fear of the pirates on the river, he personally was in front, and after crossing the Mantreshwar river, went up to Pichanada Gram. When they reached the village of Pichanada, the Lord distributed Lord Jagannath's Manohara sweet prasad to everyone. After obtaining the prasad, he called out,
Haribo!
Haribo! Manifested the symptoms of a Mahabhagavat.
So the Turkish governor
So the Turkish governor
was so much inspired by the mercy of Lord Caitanya
was so much inspired by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya
that he himself began chanting and shedding tears.
that he himself became chanting and shedding tears
And manifesting all the symptoms of the Mahabhagavat.
and manifested the symptoms of the Mahabhagavat. He himself began chanting. Maharaj Prataprudra is being struck with wonder.
He's amazed how this Turkish governor was a drunkard,
He is amazed how this Turkish governor, who's a drunkard,
has been so much transformed by the mercy
has been so much transformed by the mercy
of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma then said, These are the ways of the pastimes of the Lord. The independent Lord showers His mercy on even the unqualified and certainly ignores the qualified. Showers His mercy on even the unqualified and certainly ignores the qualified. Lord Ramachandra befriended the Chandala Guhaka, and Lord Kṛṣṇa remained silent and indifferent to Lord Brahma, who bowed to the Lord and offered many prayers. The man said, on his order, performing Bhagavat Kirtan, the boatman reached Paniya Hati within one day and embarked. King Maharaj Prataprudra says, who's there in Paniya Hati? Sarvabhauma says, Raghav Pandit. The man says, then what happened is wonderful. The king says, what was that? The man says, as soon as the Lord alighted on the shore of the Ganges, everything was filled with people. That how will I describe it? It is that the grains of dust on the earth became the people, or is it that the stars fallen from the sky took the shapes of the humans? Then, with great difficulty, the Lord made his way from the shore of the Ganges to the home of Raghav Pandit.
So many people assembled spontaneously
So many people assembled spontaneously
to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
There were huge crowds of people,
That there were huge crowds of people,
and everyone struggling to see the Lord.
everyone struggling to see the Lord.
With great difficulty, he could go through the crowds of people.
So with great difficulty, he could go through the crowd of people
To the house of Raghav Pandit.
to the house of Raghav Pandit. The king says, then, man says, the Lord spent the night there and then on the following day continued his boat journey. On the way, he was followed by a great crowd of people who, being separated from the Lord, their hands moving like waves constantly, seemed as if the constant waves of the Ganges river that has just descended from the feet of Lord Vishnu.
People were so intent on associating with the Lord.
People were so intent on associating with the Lord,
But he went on his own journey.
but he went on his own journey.
So they were feeling great separation.
So they were feeling great separation. Then the Lord arrived at Shiva's Pandit's house in Kumarhatta. As the Lord walked from the shore to the house, the people, eager to gather the dust of his feet with their hands, made great holes in the path. When the Lord disembarked, Jagadananda, unseen by him, went to Sivananda's house and decorated the path of the Lord to the house of Sivananda, thinking that the Lord, out of love, will stay for a longer time in Shiva's Pandit's house.
So this drama
So this drama
is explaining the journey of Lord Caitanya
is explaining the journey of Lord Caitanya
King Vāsudeva.
to King Prataprudra.
So, from various angles, you can see the Lord's journey
So from various angles we could see the Lord's journey
and get some taste of what's happening.
and get some taste of what was happening.
But from other shastras,
But from other Shastras,
we get some more details.
we get more detail. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 16.206.
তৎপরে তন্নিকটেই অগ্রে শিবানন্দ গৃহে পশ্চাৎ বাসুদেব গৃহে আগমন তাহা হইতে আগে গেলা শিবানন্দ ঘর বাসুদেব গৃহে পাছে আইলা ঈশ্বর.
From the house of Srivas Thakur, the Lord went to the house of Śivānanda Sena and then to the house of Vāsudeva Datta. Chaitanya Charita Mahakavya 20.17. In the night, alone and without being seen, he went by boat to another place, north of the town. He went to Vāsudeva's house and then to Śivānanda's house.
Doesn't she should say that he went to Śivānanda Sena's house first and Vāsudeva Datta?
Different scriptures says that he went to Śivānanda Sena's house first, then Vāsudeva Datta's.
Others say that he went to the house and then the house and Śivānanda Sena.
Then others says he went to Vāsudeva Datta's house first, then to Śivānanda Sena's.
Well, what we know for a fact, he went to both houses.
But what we know from both, that he went to both the house.
And these are the village of Kṛṣṇa.
He went to the village of Kanchanapara.
And Śivānanda Sena's temple is still there.
And Śivānanda Sena's temple is still there. Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. Then at the end of the night, the Lord travelled by a boat to Sivananda's house with people loudly chanting
Hari-Bol!
Hari Bol by climbing on the roofs of the houses and on the high branches of the tree all along the path.
People are so eager to see the Lord.
So they were so eager, the devotees were so eager to see the Lord. The people were so eager to see the Lord.
They any high place, roofs, trees,
They went to any high places, roofs, trees
see the Lord.
to see the Lord. Then Jagadananda decorated the sides of the path to Śivānanda's house with banana tree, full water pots, flower buds and lamps. When Lord Chaitanya saw all this, he smiled, thinking, Jagadananda has done this.
Śivānanda Pandit was thinking how to make a very auspicious reception journey for our Lord Chaitanya.
So Jagadananda Pandit was thinking how to make an auspicious journey, a a reception for Lord Caitanya.
So the devotees are filled with love for the Lord.
The devotees were filled with love for the Lord.
Don't have to be asked to do things.
Don't have to be asked to do things.
They do things spontaneously
They do things spontaneously
to please the Lord.
to please the Lord. Hari Bol. Seeing Vasudeva's house on the left similarly decorated, the Lord became doubtful of where to go first. And Vasudeva then replied, Lord, first you can visit the house of Śivānanda. When the Lord entered the house, Jagadananda washed his feet and took him to the deity room. Later, the water that has washed the feet of the Lord was sprinkled on the house and on his family and friends by Jagadananda. Then, after staying for a moment and reaching Vasudeva's house and staying for a while, the Lord again entered a boat and continued his journey. In order to obtain the water touched by the Lord's feet, the people then entered the water up to their necks. Seeing them, the Lord became merciful, and thus everyone obtained the Lord's Charanamrita. As he travelled, everyone followed him on the shore, and no one turned back.
Now, Lord Caitanya, I chant, is not a motorboat. It's a simple boat.
So Lord Caitanya was not travelling on a motorboat, it was a simple boat.
I was going ahead by oar.
Someone was going ahead by
Oar.
oar.
And so people all along the bank
So people followed along the bank,
being inspired, being filled with love of Lord Gauranga, Lord Caitanya.
being inspired, being filled with the love for Lord Gauranga, Lord Caitanya. The king says, then,
Our king, Rudra, is very much inspired to hear more and more of the pastimes of Lord Caitanya.
So King Prataprudra is very much inspired to hear more and more about the pastimes of Lord Caitanya.
Are you all?
Are you all?
Arrivo! Gauranga!
Gauranga. Thus ends the chapter entitled Visiting the House of Śivānanda Sena and Vāsudeva Datta, under the section The Lord's Attempt to Go to Vrindavan.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.